Hello, and welcome to the Reselling Report for today, Thursday, June 25th, 2020. I'm your host, Ann Eckhart, and every weekday morning I upload the Reselling Report here to YouTube to update you on the day's retail and e-commerce news, including the latest from eBay, Amazon, Etsy, and Poshmark. If you haven't done so already, I hope you'll subscribe. And now, let's get on with today's show. Well, happy Thursday, everyone. One day closer to the weekend. Our newspaper just came, and it's more garage sales than I have seen since last summer. So people are starting to have more sales. I'm really hoping, I'd really love some church sales. I like one-stop shopping. As much as I love an estate sale or a church sale, that's as much as I don't like a garage sale. I do not like driving all over town, going to multiple houses, getting in and out of the car, having to chit-chat, having different things and different pricing. I'm not a garage sailor, but I am an estate sailor and a church sailor. Are those terms? I think they are. I just made them. But as we are loading up on inventory or trying to stock our stores in anticipation of fourth quarter, there's good news coming from Fox Business News. Their site has an article titled "Coronavirus Drives E-Commerce as 5 Million New Shoppers Ages 45 and Up Buy Online." That's a demographic that's been slower to come online for online shopping, but they're getting online now because of the pandemic. So the article reads, "The coronavirus pandemic has pushed millions of people to shop online as non-essential stores have remained shuttered for months. In fact, more than 204 million consumers ages 14 and older will make an online purchase during COVID-19, according to an updated digital buyer forecast from eMarketer. 2/3 of this estimate is made up of consumers who are 45 years of age or older, the market research company reported on Monday. And factoring in the current pandemic, eMarketer's forecast accepts a 5.8% increase in digital purchases among this demographic for 2020, which is equivalent to nearly 5 million new online shoppers. Before the pandemic in 2019, consumers ages 45 and older only made up 5.1% of online shoppers. The spike in the number of online orders for this group is likely due to the higher risk of potential coronavirus infections and/or complications that are associated with older age brackets, meaning that contactless shopping is being used out of precaution. Interestingly, eMarketer's forecast also estimates that the percentage of consumers age 45 and older who shop online will go down by 2021 to 2.9% and will continue to decline in 2022. Conversely, the marketing firm cited a global web index study that found 31% of U.S. consumers between the ages of 16 and 64 believe they will shop online more often after the pandemic ends. Additionally, the study found that 30% of Americans intend to shop in stores less frequently post-coronavirus. So a side effect of the virus for those of us who do sell online is we now have more customers available to us. Of course, competition will increase as the big retailers look to add more e-commerce options to their businesses. But like I've been saying, this is the best time to be on point with your customer service. Make sure you're shipping quickly and doing everything you can so that shoppers have a good experience on the site that you are selling on, in the hopes that they will continue to shop these sites even after they are able to go back to shopping in brick and mortar stores. The USPS is ending what it calls redundant proof of delivery service. This is according to a post over on the e-commerce Bytes blog. Their article reads, "The U.S. Postal Service is eliminating the return request for merchandise service designed to help merchants prove that they mailed orders to customers and that those orders were delivered. The USPS called the service redundant and said its termination would reduce customer confusion and would save the agency money by eliminating PS Form 3804 inventory and distribution costs. The USPS had marketed return receipt for merchandise as being useful for any sender who wanted to have both proof of mailing and proof of delivery. Get proof that you sent an item and proof it was delivered," it stated on its website. The service cost $4.30, but it was unclear what its appeal was for merchants since they have the option of using USPS signature confirmation for $3.15. Here's what merchants who currently use return receipt for merchandise should know. Effective July 1st, 2020, the United States Postal Service will be eliminating return receipt for merchandise service. The extra service will be eliminated from all USPS systems software applications, publications, manuals, and forms. The extra service options that are available for customers due to the elimination of return receipt for merchandise are signature confirmation or certified mail with electronic return receipt. In addition, the USPS provided the following information. Customers in need of signatures will continue to have the following options. Signature confirmation is an extra service for a fee of $3.15, and certified mail, the other option for customers, for a fee of $3.55. Article concludes by saying many sellers rely simply on tracking for packages unless they are high-ticket items. The USPS recently launched a premium tracking service which, for a fee, extends the length of time that customers can access the tracking history of a domestic package. So I don't think I've ever used return receipt for merchandise because, like I said, you can use priority mail tracking is there, and you can just use signature confirmation. But if you are utilizing that service, it is not going to be available anymore. A heads up for those of you who use Square for payment processing. According to an article on CNN Business, Square has started keeping 30% of some retailers' payments at the worst possible time. Article reads, Square has begun withholding as much as 30% of the money it collects from customers, sparking complaints from small businesses that desperately need money as the economy hits turbulent times. Square confirmed the practice Tuesday in a blog post, describing it as a rolling reserve in which the Jack Dorsey-led payments company takes a cut of the seller's processing volume and releases it on a rolling basis over as many as 120 days. It's used for what Square labels risky sellers, which are companies that take a prepayment on goods or services that are provided at a future date. Risky sellers also include companies that sell goods or services that are prone to disputes. Square said it notified sellers that they are placed in the program. The vast majority of our sellers don't fit this profile, Square said in a statement. For the small number who do, we put in place reserves that allow them to continue processing with Square as opposed to being deactivated, particularly during uncertain times. However, according to a New York Times investigation, some small businesses are disproportionately affected by the practice, leading to financial distress and layoffs. In one instance, LegalNock, a company that builds websites for law firms, told the Times that it never had a customer demand a refund for their work, and yet Square kept $4,000 in reserve in May. Sean Weber, the owner, said he had trouble contacting the company and wasn't satisfied with his explanation. He said that Square even blocked him on Twitter. A petition from Square from merchants has racked up 1,300 signatures. Small businesses can barely survive as it is, and now that Square is withholding funds, many more businesses are going to close because of this. Square ended its blog post saying it aims to be transparent, offer seller choice, protect buyers, and provide a better customer experience with Square, an explanation that obviously many disagree with. So do you use Square with your business? I know, people who sell maybe at flea markets or antique mall booths or even using Facebook Marketplace have the Square function. You can attach it to your smartphone to process credit cards. So yeah, let me know if you use Square and if this has affected you in any way. eBay has introduced Best Match to personalize buyers' search feed. So this is an announcement from eBay. It says, when buyers search on eBay, the default order of results is called Best Match. It's designed to show the most relevant listings and incorporates a variety of quality, demand, and market-driven factors, such as item popularity, pricing, shipping, regions, seller details, etc. eBay has significantly invested in efforts to enhance the machine learning algorithms to improve the quality of search results for buyers. The most recent update for Best Match personalizes the search results for each buyer. eBay's marketplace is extremely diverse. In a single category, you can find inventory ranging from a few cents to hundreds of thousands of dollars. There are 174 million active buyers on eBay, and every individual has their own criteria to define a perfect item and price range for the product they're shopping for. Previously, when users searched for a product on eBay, the Best Match algorithm would show the exact same results, irrespective of the individual needs. We've introduced the price propensity feature in search ranking to customize the search results based on a user's price preference. Price propensity takes into consideration a user's past purchases on eBay, as well as the inventory they were interested in. Based on this information, a machine-learned model tries to predict users' price propensity for future purchases. That's a lot of P's. Whew! And uses this to surface search results that are personalized to the user's price preferences. As an outcome, we see customized search results for individual users according to their preferences and higher engagements with those results. Price propensity is just the first step toward personalization and ranking. There are many other factors we are exploring as part of this work stream. With these features in place, we hope to make the eBay shopping journey for a buyer a simple and efficient experience. How do you search on eBay? I mainly use search to research sold listings, and in that case, I'll search from highest price to lowest. But when I'm searching for something for myself, I generally change it to the newly listed items. If it's something I've been looking at a lot, I'm not looking at stuff I've already seen. But let me know how you utilize search. This is one more way that companies, they just can find ways to remember your shopping habits and customize the search feature for you on their sites. But interesting for those of us who list on the site, what's happening to our listings, and especially if we're paying for promoted listings, this could be another way that we're going to lose eyes on an item if eBay determines that the person shopping would be interested in other things besides what we have listed. I don't know. Not sure about this, but it's brand new, and I'm sure it'll change 8 million times before they settle on the final model. If you'd like to learn more about eBay's partner network, which is their affiliate program, there is a new video up on the eBay for Business YouTube channel. That is Seller Check-In number 17, the eBay Partner Network, where Griff interviews Michael Lill, who is the director of the eBay Partner Network. You can learn how the program works and how you can increase your earnings and diversify your revenue streams. The video is 18 minutes long, so some good information in there. Unfortunately, comments are turned off. So I guess there's no way to interact with the video directly, which is kind of weird, but I think it's also posted over on Facebook, on the eBay for Business Facebook page. I don't know why they don't have comments here. But anyway, if you want to go and learn more, you can do that. I did complete my registration yesterday for the Partner Network, and now I'm waiting for the email with the final information so I can get started using my store link everywhere that I have my eBay store linked so I can earn a commission, and I have it linked a lot of places. That might be my weekend project. But anyway, I have to wait until eBay gets in contact with me to let me know that that is finalized and give me my links. Give me my links, eBay. I need to start because, like I said, I got a lot of links to replace. Turning now to Etsy, according to an article on investors.com, Etsy stock jumped to a record high Tuesday as the e-commerce company is seen benefiting from changes in consumer behavior since the emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic. So according to this article, experts believe that Etsy is a structural winner in the COVID crisis and that the company is taking the right steps to position itself for healthy, sustainable, long-term growth by leaning into the recent surge in demand. And of course, that's something we've been talking a lot about here on the show. As people have been quarantined at home, they've been looking at arts and crafts, games, handmade items, home decor, and in those categories, Etsy has really stepped up. Etsy stock is up 132% this year, which is just an overall sign of how well the site is doing. Now, I know that Etsy is doing really well in the handmade category, but are any of you still selling on Etsy in the vintage category? I know a lot of people have just ditched Etsy and gone to eBay, where sales are also really strong. But if you sell collectibles, pre-made vintage items, do you still sell on Etsy, or have you kind of left it and has it reverted back to basically a site for the handmade market? Definitely let me know. I do not sell on Etsy anymore. I've sold a couple times there over the past couple years, but for me, it's always been eBay. Just is so much easier and faster to list on eBay. Things sell faster there usually, and I don't see myself going back to Etsy at any time in the near future, but you never know. June is Pride Month, and Poshmark is celebrating with community takeovers. There's a new post over on the Poshmark Facebook page that says, "Happy Pride. We're excited to celebrate our amazing LGBTQ plus community and spread the Posh love. Meet Blake, aka Posh Boss Blake, as he shares his story and what Pride means to him in a special edition of Community Takeovers." I'm sure many of you know Blake. He's very active on social media. He's on Instagram and YouTube. So I would imagine that Maybe Poshmark will do some more of these. We're kind of at the end of the month now. They only have a handful more days, but we shall see if more of these pop up. Of course, the beginning of the month was really focused on the George Floyd killing in Minneapolis and the subsequent protesting. And so I think Pride Month kind of got pushed down a bit, but we'll see if Poshmark continues some more of these. And in the meantime, you can go over and watch a little video that they have from Blake. There's another article today about the growth of secondhand e-commerce sites. This one is on Forbes.com, and it's titled, "Secondhand E-commerce Sites See a Silver Lining." The coronavirus pandemic has changed consumer shopping behavior and shifted dollars from brick-and-mortar retailers, many of which are only now starting to open, to online stores, and resale is a beneficiary. "It's definitely been a surreal time," said Poshmark CEO Manish Chandra. "When the pandemic started in a big way in late February into March, when it was first declared a pandemic, the initial reaction to Poshmark was very negative. After people adjusted, we saw a massive increase in engagement in sales and selling. During the pandemic, Poshmark launched Reposh, an easy one-click way to sell items bought on Poshmark. Chandra said the company wants to support the use and reuse of items. We see this becoming very powerful. It's not just great for the environment, it's great for us as a society too. It's something whose time has come." An Instagram-like story feature introduced on the Poshmark app lets users showcase listings with short videos and photos that disappear in 48 hours. Usage of Posh stories has been ramping up, and Chandra adds, "People want the human connection. Stories are taking selling to the next level by adding the human element of a video." Poshmark's community has swelled to 60 million members, with sellers from mid-March through mid-June sharing 60 million items daily, up from 30 million prior to COVID-19. Sellers have been uploading over $170 million worth of inventory every week, a spike that occurred prior to COVID-19. Since the pandemic was declared, Poshmark has seen a 50% increase in listings and orders and a 40% uptick in new sellers year over year. And with consumers homeward bound, the average time spent on Poshmark has risen to 30 to 31 minutes versus 27 minutes before the pandemic. James Reinhart, CEO of ThredUp, said his site's low prices have appealed to consumers during the uncertainty of the COVID-19 pandemic. "Great value is what we offer. When consumers are feeling a little more uncertain about the economy, we really benefit from that." Reinhart believes Secondhand's upward trajectory will continue at the expense of traditional retailers such as department stores. And then they talk about ThredUp's report that they just released that we discussed yesterday. And this article does go on quite a bit. It will be linked in the show notes if you want to go over and read the whole thing, but I just wanted to share it because I'm always happy to see news that supports reselling and the reselling sites. This one doesn't mention eBay, but still, eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, as long as any of them are getting coverage, I think it's just good for resale as a whole. So I always want to share these stories with you guys when I see them. And finally today, if you are a fan of Tory Burch clothing, whether to buy or resell, there's a new interview with her over on the CNBC website. It's a very lengthy interview, so I'm not going to read it here, but I just wanted to point it out to you guys. It will be linked in the show notes below if you want to go over and read it. She talks about the Tory Burch Foundation Fellows Program, which awards grants to women entrepreneurs. She talks about how the coronavirus pandemic has affected her retail business, what she thinks retail and e-commerce will look like as we go forward, and just the fashion industry overall. So for your fashion resellers especially, I thought this article would be really interesting for you and wanted to make sure that I let you know about it. And that's a wrap on today's show. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment, even if it's just a hello or an emoji. That engagement really helps with YouTube's algorithm. You can check out the show notes below the video for links to the articles I reference, and you can email me your questions to answer on Friday's shows. My email is also below. And if you want to learn how to make money on eBay and YouTube the way I do, check out my books, which are in my Amazon store. It's the first link below the video. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.